Alright, everybody, what's going on? It's Thundershot, and I am joined here today by Swag Kage. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hey, hello everybody. You might remember me from a previous video I did with Thundershot, but if not, well, hello. Nice to see all of you.
Alright, and today we're going to be kind of going over all the transformations and all the information we've got on transformations that we've seen so far, how we think they're going to affect the game, what we think should be different, because there's a lot of stuff that's sort of up in the air, maybe debatable, and it could go either way right now. We just kind of want to do a whole rundown of transformation, get you guys' thoughts on what you guys think of transformation so far, and then hopefully educate you if we know some stuff that you don't, or vice versa. But we got a list of pretty much every race so far that we know about. Firstly, we're going to talk about Earthlings and their minor but major transformation. Do you want to kind of get us up to speed on that one?
Yeah, it's just the flying Nimbus and the power pole. I mean, there's not much else to say about that. They just summon Nimbus, the Kintoon, and the power pole, and I mean, like, it boosts their speed and their attack power, like most transformations do. But other than that, I'm not really too sure about it. It's not really a transformation, but I can't blame Dimps for it just because of the fact that I don't know what transformation you would give Earthlings.
It'll almost surely fall into the transformation slot in-game at least, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's minor because, like you said, it's not really a transformation, but it's major because from what people have seen and people that kind of been giving me feedback on it is that it's insanely fast and the power pole might really help in stringing together some major combos and stuff, so it might be kind of hard to fight. So it's minor in that it's not that much of a transformation as far as that's concerned, but it's major because people are already worried about if it could be OP or not when most people haven't actually got their hands on it yet. The open beta coming out soon will hopefully answer a lot of our questions depending on how much freedom we have in the beta, but for now, all we can do is speculate. So we don't really have a whole lot to say about the Earthling, but to move on to Namekians, Namekians probably have the wildest transformation of them all, being able to go into their giant Lord Slug almost Namekian form. And Rain Terror with that. I'm assuming that'll function a lot like Great Ape, but did you have anything you wanted to talk about as far as Namekians were concerned?
I mean, really, I'm just really interested to see what they do with this transformation because I heard a lot of, whispers from people saying like, oh yeah, no, there's no way they can pull off Great Namex. It's, Giant Namex, it's just out of the question. It'd be too unbalanced, and then they revealed that it was going to happen. I also remember hearing a few people saying that, Dimps flat out confirmed that they weren't going to do it. That was floating around the internet for a while, and then we found out that they are, and it was really cool because, I mean, I don't know what they're going to try and do with it. I also don't know which game modes will let you access Giant Namekian transformations, like if it'll be exclusive to single-player parallel quests and whatnot, or those 1v6 battles, or if you'll be able to use them in any mode, including ranked. And if you can use them in ranked, I have no clue how Dimps plans to balance it.
Throw a wrench into so much stuff, yeah.
I know, right? I really assume that they won't flinch normally like most characters do, and you won't be able to send them flying through the air or whatever, so stringing together combos will be a lot different against Giant Namekians than it will against most other characters.
Yeah, and to go back to what you said earlier, Dimps has said, there's a few things now. I think there's at least 2 or 3 accounted for things that Dimps has said will not be in Xenoverse 2 that have now been announced for Xenoverse 2. So you can't, when they say no on something, you gotta take that with a grain of salt at this point. Because they've been going back on that a lot. And then, yeah, to bring up the other point, we know 1v6 battles against Giant Namekians are a thing. I'm hoping Great Apes are a thing, and they also throw that in there, because I think that would be cool. And it's like, why not at that point? But because they already have the models from Xenoverse 1, and if they made, if they made the Namekians work, it almost be weird if they didn't do it at this point, but it's like, are Giant Namekians only going to be available in 1v6? Are you going to be able to do Giant Namekian in story mode, or at least certain stages of story mode? Are you going to be able to do Giant Namekian in parallel quests with your friends to help speed that up? We're already seeing the potential, again, for, like a Giant Namekian versus a Giant Great Ape fight, which would be fucking awesome, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool, especially like if you've got, other people fighting along the ground. That'd be really epic. You just have to like fly in between those two as they're fighting and take everybody else out.
Set up a whole Namekian versus Saiyan line with just under that premise alone, it would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, even if it's just parallel quests, even if you can't, single player versus mode, go Great Ape versus Giant Namekian, just in parallel quests, the idea of them teasing that is cool enough. And then of course, to like you brought it up, and could you just do it in regular versus battles? Are the Namekians going to be well balanced enough that you can whip them out in a 1v1, or one guy can do it in a 3v3 and it doesn't completely, ensure victory for them one way or the other, right?
I feel like the main reason why Namekians won't be too overpowered when they go giant is because of the fact that, I mean, like, we even saw this in the manga and Dragon Ball, or the manga and the anime in Dragon Ball, when Goku fought Piccolo in the World Tournament. Like, he couldn't hit Goku because of how small Goku was, and Goku had the easiest time in the universe hitting Piccolo from every direction. And I feel like that might apply in the game. It'll be a lot easier to avoid Giant Namekians and, hit them from a distance because, well, they're a large target and you're a small target. They'll have a harder time hitting you with key attacks than you will hitting them. But, like, up close, I feel like they'll be a monster to fight against. They'll do tons of damage. But that's just speculation. I don't know anything for certain.
Yeah, and that's where the whole balancing thing comes in. So I said, like one way or the other. Either Namekians are going to, like, one-hit KO people, but still be really slow and kind of hard to hit. Or Namekians, it might be so slow and so difficult to hit people that it's a disadvantage. And like I said, it would be difficult to balance. If I had to take a guess, I would say maybe on story mode would they allow transformations. I hope that they would allow them in parallel quests with friends, just because that would be really fun. The 1v6 mode, obviously, I don't think they're going to let them in versus mode, or 2v2s or 3v3s. Can't say for sure, because it is a transformation under the transformation slot, so maybe it'll be allowed everywhere. That would be cool, but I can't say for sure. That one's kind of rough. By the way, this list order that we're going in right now, we're kind of going in from stuff we have the least amount to say to the most, so get ready.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just getting the ball rolling right now. Moving on to Majins. We're going to talk about Majins. They really only have the one form from what we've seen so far from the way it looks for both male and female, and it's kind of lackluster because your whole Majin character just goes back to a Kid Buu form. He or she stays whatever color they are. You can make him, blue, the standard pink, red, purple, whatever. But they go back to looking like Kid Buu, and that's it. It's just the Kid Buu model that is the color of your Majin. And that's where a lot of complaints are coming out about that, because they could have done something different and they could have tried other stuff. Did you have anything you wanted to kind of throw in there?
I mean, like, I've already made a video about this. I think it's absolutely stupid that, like, it's literally, like you said, just Kid Buu's model, but whatever color your Majin happens to be. And, like, it would be cool if maybe, like, your eyes matched when you transformed, or, you had the same antenna or whatever, or at the very least your clothes matched, or something like that, because, like, I mean, maybe, sure, Dimps might have a hard time fitting all of the outfits to the Kid Buu model, but, I mean, they fit all the outfits in the game across the Fat Buu model, the Girl Buu model, Namekian model, Frieza model, Saiyan model, and Human model, not to mention all of the different height variants of each of those models. So, like, I don't see why it would be too much harder to, keep the clothes. Like, it would just be one extra model that they would have to do, because the transformation is the same for both genders. So,
yeah. I don't know. I agree with that, and I agree with what you say. It just seems like in a point where, and I'm super thankful that Dimps and is doing all this stuff with Xenoverse 2, where they're giving us so many things that we wanted from the first game, and they're putting it into the second game, and they've given us a whole lot for sure. Definitely, no complaints on that end. But when it comes to this specifically, it just seems like for everything else that they're adding and for everything else that they're doing, this one Majin transformation just feels lazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially as opposed to everything. And again, I don't even like dogging on them, because they've made so many vast improvements, and just Majins having their own transformation is awesome. But there were a couple suggestions you brought up to maybe change the appearance of them. I know there have been videos and other people saying, around the community that, like, well, this is actually just, this Kid Buu is like the base Buu form. The existence of all Buu is Kid Buu when it boils down to it. And that's a decent point, but it's so, like, the points that you brought up earlier, it would be so simple to make your antenna match, or to make, just like maybe certain facial features, or even just your eyes match. There's little stuff they could put on there that, would go a long way to add a little bit to make this transformation not the exact same for every single person that did it, appearance-wise. And then on top of that, one of the things that I kind of was brainstorming in my head that I thought would be a good suggestion, a good idea, would be if you don't add different looks, like if you don't change the antenna or the eye color or anything like that for the Kid Buu transformation, maybe just give the people the option to transform into either a Majin Buu in their color, just a fat Majin Buu in their color, or a Super Buu form in their color, right? They don't really have to change anything. It could do the exact models. I feel like that would be really easy to pull off, and then their color. And they wouldn't need to be balanced differently, in my opinion. I think people just want the aesthetic. I think they just want it to look different. And you could do that pretty easily just by changing the color of the Fat Buu or the Super Buu model, and just giving you the option of which Majin Buu you wanted to transform into. It's not like a great solution, but it adds variety to a situation that has no variety at all in it right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, exactly. Like, I mean, I feel like, like, there are people who, who mod the games, who modded Xenoverse 1, who could do, a better job of making, like, a decent-looking Majin transformation. than Dim says here. And like you said, I don't like dogging on him. I've spoken my piece about some of the things that, you know, I've seen in Xenoverse 2 that I'm not, like, you know, like that I don't totally agree with or whatever. Like, you know, I'm skeptically optimistic about the game, you know, so, you know, like, I really want it to be good, but, you know, when I see something that, like, should be better, like them just swapping out, you know, Boo's model and changing the color, like, it's like, come on, Dims, you can do better than that. I know you can.
You know, who knows? The game's not out yet. It's not going to come out for a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
we'll get surprised. Maybe they will add something else, or maybe it'll be tweaked or fixed or DLC or who knows. And I don't like the idea of something's broken in our game, we'll throw it in DLC, but
yeah,
still there is a possibility. To move on from the Majin transformation, we come to Frieza's, who have been gifted a sweet-looking golden form, which I am pretty fond of. And that'll tie in with the next one we're going to talk about too. But for now, do you just want to give us your thoughts on the Frieza race in general, the Frieza transformation in general?
So essentially, what the Frieza race transformation is, it's Golden Frieza. That's the concept. But as far as like a development standpoint goes, what they've done is essentially the same thing as what they did with like Super Saiyan in the first Xenoverse game, and they just, you know, changed the color of a certain part of your model. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, like, it's a very simple thing to do. But as far as like simple transformations go, this one's definitely my favorite because like the effects that they give the Frieza clan whenever they transform looks really cool. Like, it's super simple, you know, they didn't change the model or whatever, they just make you transform and start glowing golden and purple, and it looks awesome.
We didn't talk about, I don't know if you know it, I don't even know if it's been said. I am a little bit behind on that department, but we didn't talk about, do we know what the Buu transformation or the Frieza transformation does as far as raising your stats goes or improving the character at all?
I would assume that the Buu transformation makes you move a lot faster because male Majins, I recall, in Xenoverse 1 were incredibly sluggish. But if you watch the gameplay trailer where they revealed the Majin transformation, that Majin is moving all around the map, like, at an insane speed. Like, he's going really fast, so I think it's a big speed buff there. As for Golden Frieza, I don't really know. I couldn't tell you what the stat buffs or debuffs or whatever are for it.
I got you. We're mainly talking about aesthetics in this video, but if anybody wants to fill our ignorant asses in the comment section down below, if we do know at this point, or maybe more information comes out after this video goes up on what exactly the transformations do and how they power the characters up, feel free to fill us in on that one in the comment section down below. What are we on now? Oh yeah, the Frieza Golden Form. The Frieza Golden Form, I mean, that's it. It's pretty much, it takes your character model and makes it golden, and I feel like people are going to have a lot of fun with that because I feel like in Xenoverse 1, Frieza Race was probably the most popular one to customize and get, because you can get real crazy with it for the most part. I mean, Saiyans might have been the most popular character, but as far as like cool customizations, I mean, Rhyme Style had Celza, and then those took over the world for a minute, and then just a bunch of different people named Frost, but a bunch of different Frieza Race characters were made, and they looked really awesome. And then to almost double the amount of outcomes because they also have a golden form is just, it's going to be really fun to see those and see what they look like with the effects and everything going on. But then the last form that we're going to talk about today is Saiyans, Super Saiyans 1, 2, and 3. We're not necessarily going to go into detail because they were, you know, nothing's changed from Xenoverse 1 here. The way that they're balanced is, but like I said, that's not the focus of the video today. They did add Super Saiyan 3, but Swag Kage kind of had, we're going to have like a little debate here almost. Swag Kage kind of had a point that came to his mind, something that's important to him that I never really gave much thought before. Do you want to bring up the Frieza Race versus the Saiyan transformation thing that's kind of been bugging you?
Well, it's not necessarily anything that's like bugging me. It's not gotten under my skin or whatever. But so one of the developers for Dimp said, and I know you said that, you know, take what they say with a grain of salt when they say something won't be in the game. So, you know, I'll keep that in mind. But they said they can't put Super Saiyan Blue in the game just because of a balancing issue. Like, they wouldn't be able to make it fair or whatever. Which, like, I understand. I guess if they're talking about like lore-wise, if they're trying to match like the power of the form, like in the lore of Dragon Ball with like the power of the form in the game, like I guess I get where they're coming from because Super Saiyan Blue is like really powerful, but at the same time, like the Golden Frieza form is just as powerful. Like, that's literally the Frieza clan's counterpart to Super Saiyan Blue. From like a lore standpoint, like I don't really see why the transformation couldn't be in the game. Now, from like a gameplay standpoint, adding a fourth Super Saiyan transformation, might be a bit of a challenge considering, like, you know, how it works, like with the key bar system and stuff. Super Saiyan 3 takes up 7 bars of key. That's the prerequisite to use it. So I don't know how many you'd have to go Super Saiyan Blue. But the option would just be nice to have. You know, if you want to ban them in ranked online or whatever, if they get too OP, alright, fine. But just having the option in the game would just be cool.
The Super Saiyan, and yeah, there's been talks. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe Super Saiyan Blue for DLC. I don't expect it on the initial release of the game. Personally, I totally see where you're coming from, but it wouldn't bug me at all if Vegeta and Goku were the only ones who could do Super Saiyan Blue, and Saiyan stuck with the basic 1, 2, 3. Because from a gameplay standpoint, Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 is fine. I'm just thrilled that we got Super Saiyan 3, and I think it looks awesome. And I think from what I've seen and from what we've seen from other YouTubers who have got their hands on the game, it looks like it's a lot better balanced because it's not just a spam fest this year. But yeah, definitely from a like to be sort of more not canon, but to be more not relevant. I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is. To be more accurate to the anime. To the anime and manga, to have Super Saiyan 3s fighting, you know, like a Golden Frieza form, for example, like you said. That's one of the things that actually bugged me in my first playthrough of Xenoverse, because I was like Super Saiyan 1 or maybe Super Saiyan 2 by that point, and, you know, you're fighting Majin Buu, and then now you're fighting Beerus, and you're fighting, you know, however strong Demigra is supposed to be alongside Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and the fact that you're not just keeping up, but you're, like, swaying the outcomes of the fight, that did bug me a little bit in Xenoverse 1. I will say, though, however, as far as this is concerned, I'm going to go into minor Dragon Ball Super manga spoilers sort of here. In the recent chapter, we saw Trunks from the future timeline, and he was going to have a fight with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And in the manga, Trunks powered up in his Super Saiyan 2 form, and people called him out, oh, Trunks in Super Saiyan 2 is somehow stronger than Goku in Super Saiyan 3. So it's one of those things where the transformations, like if Trunks can be as strong as Super Saiyan 3 Goku, how strong would he be if he was Super Saiyan 3? I don't know. Like it's still probably not Golden Frieza race strong, but it helps me suspend, you know, the belief a little bit more that maybe a character who's just really high powered could take on someone really strong in a Super Saiyan 3 form.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I understand that. Like, I can just suspend my disbelief like all day long just because of the fact that, I mean, you can fucking take out Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as Krillin in this game if you want to. The thing is, though, like, I just want it in the game just because I like more content. I think everybody likes more content, but, you know, it won't bug me too heavily if Super Saiyan Blue isn't in the game, but I would really like it if it were in there. Now, one thing that's definitely not going to happen is the inclusion of Super Saiyan 4, just because of how much work it would take, you know, to do the eyes, to do the fur for every single body type, to, you know, figure out how... The wig is in the game.
The Super Saiyan 4 wig is in the game, so that makes me really think the transformation won't ever make it, but yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, it would be cool to see that in the game. People have made mods for it, but, you know, like, nobody's ever been able to actually make, like, a Super Saiyan 4 transformation, you know? They've just put, like, Super Saiyan 4, busts and stuff, like, in the game, but, like, you know... Like, I know it would be really hard, but it'd be cool to see. But, you know, since we can't have Super Saiyan 4, Blue would be a nice substitute. I don't think we'll see Rose, but if I can put Rose in the game, that'd be cool, too.
Yikes. Yeah, it comes down to that gameplay versus... gameplay itself versus like pleasing the fans. We were talking a little bit about this before we started the video, where talking about like how competitive should it be versus how casual should it, like how... Because if it's more casual, if it's more accurate to the anime or whatever, it appeals to a wider audience. So even if Super Saiyan Blue wouldn't necessarily be very balanced, having it in the game would be a nice inclusion. And it's finding that happy medium, because I think I'm a guy who focused more on, I just want the gameplay to be fantastic, and I wasn't too, you know, hung up on Super Saiyan Blue not being there. And then you're like, no, it kind of really needs to be in there because the Frieza race thing doesn't match up. And I didn't even think about it not matching up with Frieza race because I was so focused on, you know, only caring about the gameplay and not about that stuff. So I think there's a happy medium to be found.
I mean, like, again, I won't care too much if it's not in the game, because the game looks absolutely incredible. Like, it's the game I am the most excited for this year.
I wouldn't mind it, and it would obviously be inaccurate because it would be putting them on the same plane, which they're not. I wouldn't mind it if they gave you Super Saiyan Blue form as an alternative to Super Saiyan 3. Maybe they still function the exact same way, but just for the aesthetic, if you wanted to go that route instead.
I actually wouldn't mind that at all. I was thinking something like that would be really cool. Like, I know they're not the same as far as, like, you know, power goes, but, like, well, relative to when they were introduced, you know, Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan Blue were, like, pretty much just as strong as one another, like, relative to everybody else in the series, if you know what I mean. Because, you know, like, Super Saiyan 3 was top dog back when it was first introduced. Like, you know, Super Saiyan Blue's top dog now. And on top of that, Super Saiyan 3 just looks a lot cooler. So I know, like, a lot of people would pick Super Saiyan 3 over Blue just because of appearance alone. I mean, it'd be a cool choice. Yeah, I probably will, too. I just think it'd be cool to have it in the game.
Yeah, I got you.
Know what I
I
mean?
got you. All right, I think that might do it for us today. Though we've kind of gone down
Yeah.
a list of transformations. Let us know what you thought about the conversation. What you think about Super Saiyan Blue maybe not being in the game. Does it bug the hell out of you, or are you just happy that it looks like it's going to be better balanced this year? Let me know what you think of the transformation stuff that they could add, change. Specifically, we were really hung up on the Majin Buu one there for a minute. Or anything different they could do with races that you guys would like to see. Other than that, I think it's going to wrap it up for us here today. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Thundershot here with
Swag Kage.
his link will be in the description down below and all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Yep. Bye, everybody.